Happy endings of the safe-for-work variety usually only happen in the movies, which is one of the reasons why cinemas are such effective havens of escapism. Conclusions like this have us leaving the theatre all warm and fuzzy, but there are times when filmmakers have tricked us into feeling those ways. Those instances where the happily ever after wasn't all it seemed. We've done it before, and we're doing it again. I'm Ben from Whatculture, and here are 10 more film endings with disturbing implications you totally missed. Number 10. Taxi Driver. Travis is probably dead already. When taxi driver's Travis Bickle emerges victorious in the final battle against that pimp and his associates, saves the prostitute, and is hailed as a hero by the media, you'd be forgiven for thinking all of his problems were over. But Martin Scorsese has confirmed that the strange glare Travis gives before the credits roll signifies that he's a ticking time bomb. However, there's also a theory that states he died during the final shootout in the brothel. Every sequence which follows is Travis's death dream in which he imagines a world where everything he deemed wrong has been righted. The final stretch of Taxi Driver is rather dreamlike, and that overhead shot immediately following the brothel shootout could well represent the protagonist's soul leaving his body. Maybe. Number 9. Django Unchained. The horrible, unseen epilogue. Django Unchained brings down the curtain in triumphant fashion. Jamie Foxx's gunslinger puts bullets in his oppressors, blew the evil Candyland plantation to smithereens, and rode off into the sunset with liberated wife Broomhilda, freedom papers in their possession. Way to stick it to the man, except the story is guaranteed to have a horrible epilogue we never get to see because Django would last all of 5 minutes in the American South after committing mass white guy slaughter. Think about it. Django didn't just kill anyone. Kelvin Candy was a wealthy landowner with powerful friends who Django also killed. There's absolutely no way he's getting away with any of it. Number 8. Kick-Ass 2. Everyone is screwed over. Kick-Ass 2 is a fun, askew take on superheroism, and it appeared to end on the standard good guys save the day note, except no, probably not. Dave Lazuski's probably going to jail because everyone wrongly believes he was sleeping with the underage hit girl. Hit girl's adoptive dad Marcus is bound to be given some serious time for covering up her crimes. Chris D'Amico's evil uncle Ralph, the film's real villain, is still running a criminal empire from prison, and Dave's rat of a friend Todd, who is responsible for the death of the hero's father, never gets his comeuppance. The world of Kick-Ass 2 is a terrible place. Number 7. Total Recall. Quaid gets lobotomized. Arnie Douglas Quaid topples an evil corporation, gets his dream girl, and terraforms the planet Mars. However, there's overwhelming proof that Total Recall was all just a dream, the most compelling piece of which is the blue sky scene overhead in the final scene. It harks back to the opening sequence where Quaid is being prepped for his mind implant. One of the technicians can be overheard saying, "That's a new one, blue sky on Mars," and that simply cannot be a coincidence. So what if Quaid didn't really go to Mars? Isn't the idea of him returning home a happy enough ending? No, actually, because that's unlikely to happen since Arnie was probably lobotomized. Fun. Number 6. Elysium. The world is still a hellhole. Refusing to shy away from social commentary, Neil Blomkamp's Elysium ends with Matt Damon's Max DaCosta sacrificing himself so the people of post-apocalyptic Earth gain access to the advanced medical tech. Free healthcare for all, it screams in the face of the US establishment, but in the context of the movie, it ultimately changes little and actually exacerbates some of the problems faced by the human race. Earth, for example, is still an overpopulated, crime-ridden hellhole, and a batch of cancer-zapping medical beds isn't going to change that. In fact, having people live longer is only going to make some of these issues worse. Thanks, Matt Damon. Number 5. The Dark Knight Rises. Anyone can't be Batman. Christopher Nolan rounded off his acclaimed superhero trilogy on an upbeat note, with Bruce Wayne living happily ever after in Italy with Selina Kyle and Gotham City in the safe hands of John Blake. Because anybody can be Batman in the Nolanverse, except, and this cannot be stressed enough, anyone cannot be Batman. Nolan's concept about the hero being a symbol is nice and all, but it's contradictory. Bruce Wayne had to travel the world and study under the tutelage of master assassins to acquire the necessary combat skills, and he wouldn't have gotten very far without the infinite resources of Wayne Enterprises behind him. Blake, in other words, is going to die. Number 4. Predator. Arnie would have been shot afterwards. After the Predator acknowledges Dutch as a worthy opponent, ditches its mask and weapons, and engages him in close quarters combat, Arnie tears the creature a new one and gets to the chopper. Da 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 da. Now, as anyone who knows their predator lore will tell you, the government is fully aware that extraterrestrials visit Earth for the occasional hunt, after which they pack up their weapons and trophies and leave. The powers that be turn a blind eye because intervention would only result in an intergalactic war they cannot win, so the details of Arnold's Black Ops mission are certain to be suppressed by the US government, which probably means a bullet in the head. Oh dear. Number 3. Top Gun. World War III would have broken out. Tom Cruise and his Top Gun class of 85 engage enemy MiGs from an unknown nation over hostile waters, take them down, and save a communication ship in distress. Cue victory celebrations, high fives, and beach volleyballs. Am I right, boys? Yes, I am. Let's do it. But the unnamed nation those MiGs belonged to was probably North Korea, judging by the red stars on the pilots' helmets, and they could only have gotten those high-tech aircraft from the Soviet Union. Sequel Top Gun Maverick is in the works for 2019, and if it isn't set in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, the filmmakers need a serious reality check. Number 2. Independence Day Resurgence. There's a gaping hole in the Atlantic Ocean. Much like the first time they attempted to take our planet, the invading aliens in Independence Day Resurgence were given a massive hiding by Team Goldblum and sent packing to the cosmos. This time, they wanted to harvest Earth's molten core to power their own dying planet, but were defeated again. What's the problem here? A massive gaping hole leading right down to the center of the Earth in the Atlantic Ocean. At worst, all kinds of crap from the Earth's molten core is about to be spewed into the atmosphere, and at best, mega storms! Number 1. The day after tomorrow. Terrible hardships are ahead. Who ever heard of an apocalypse with a happy ending? Nobody. That's when Roland Emmerich's disaster flick ends with the superstorm dissipating, Jack and Sam's groups making it through the ordeal, and the US president vowing to send helicopters to pick up other survivors. Meanwhile, the Earth is now pollution-free. Hooray! Except, most of the upper hemisphere is frozen solid, several billion people are dead, entire nations are gone, and the world's agriculture has been dealt a crippling blow. But the survivors will die. They will. And that's not even considering what's going to happen when the ice melts. And that's our list. Make sure you subscribe to the Whatculture YouTube channel for more lists like this, and don't forget to visit whatculture.com for daily news and articles. I'm Ben from Whatculture, and thanks for watching.